Hello, I'm Melissa Fago, Creative Memories Advisor from Suffolk, Virginia, and today I want to share with you our new scenes collection. It has 6 different paper packs and stickers. They do come together, the stickers and the paper together as a bundle for $20 each, and they span across the United States. So let me show you what it has. And I've got an idea for you with them, and I'm going to show you how to make one of the layouts that I found. So I love to store my papers and whole collections, whatever, in our Power Project folders. But within this, when this one comes with so many different pieces, I should say, I like to store them in our pockets inside of the project folder. So I have each one in a pocket with its paper and its stickers. Now, my project folder for regular items has pockets for stickers individually, or my laser borders if I'm down to a few, maybe extra strips, that kind of thing. But I did decide, I was going back and forth because there are 6 of these if I wanted, the stickers separate, and I decided that I'm just going to keep them together. Isn't this gorgeous though? So this is beach. These collections did come with punches. They have matching coordinating albums. They have coordinating recipe templates. So there's a lot of fun that you can do with these collections. What I'm showing you today just encompasses the paper and the stickers. So the next one is coastal scenes. And then we have desert scenes. I guess I should show you the stickers too. I'm just kind of going through each one pretty easily, not like flipping through all of the papers and the stickers. There are 3 sticker strips for each one. This one's desert. This one's mountain. Didn't put those in. My folders only had 5, so I had to put one not in a pocket yet. So Pacific was the one that got hit not in a pocket. There's Pacific. This one has a really cool waterfall border sticker. Makes me want to go see a waterfall. I know some people that just went to Niagara Falls. That's going to would be great for that. And then Prairie. And all of these papers and stickers are just beautiful. I think you're going to love all of them. Of course, they all coordinate together with each other with our other collections. So, the first layout that I want to show you is one that we teach you a lot. And that is when we have these big, beautiful landscape pages. I'm going to show you another one that's already done. When we have these big, beautiful pages, it's, I don't want to cover it all up with paper and stickers and things. And so what we show you is how to cut it into pieces, and then you can still see the best parts that you want to see, cover up what you don't mind covering up. So, and a lot of times we'll teach you to be symmetrical with it. The other thing we'll teach you is when you cut it, that you can turn these pieces over. So then you get a different look, which is also nice. But with this one, I love this side of this paper, but I didn't like it with, what I'm doing here. So, and basically on this one, sometimes, like I said, we'll say cut 3 inches, cut an inch, maybe cut, let's see, 3, 4, and then 2 inches, 2 inches, an inch, 3 inches, right? Or I like to not always do mine exactly the same anyway. So I might do a 3, a 1, 2, a 4, a 1 kind of thing. So this one though, I wanted to do it where I was getting the best of my waterfall here, as well as this tree and mountain scene over here. So I picked where I liked it, the break in the page. and then I cut it, and then I did cut my 1 inch so that that's what would be next. And then this was what was left, and I just picked which side of the page it was going to go on. So, and I think since this one was wider, I chose this side. Simple. This is another sheet of paper without having it right in front of me. This is front and back of the same sheet, and I just thought this was gorgeous. So added a little, this is a little piece of this paper with the design on it so that it gave it some background. This is a journal box where I use the craft paper for my journal box, and I use the perforating blade to make my lines. And the way you do that is you line your paper up at the first dark mark on your 12-inch trimmer. And that is, when I say that, that's this line here. So you line, of course, I don't have any scraps in front of me. You line whatever paper you're trying to do that with to this line. So I'm showing you with this big piece, but we're not going to do it. And then for some reason it is easier. I do everything else from the top, but I do this from the bottom. So then when you close it and do your first perforating line, then you slide that perforating line over to basically the whole thing over 2 marks. Just go 2 marks every time. And then you do the next one and then 2 marks and do the next one until you get to the bottom of your page. Pretty cool. So that's a really fun layout to do and easy and quick. I use that often when we have those big, beautiful pieces of paper. And then what I'm going to show you today, this I'm pretty sure was one of the virtual crop sketches. It was something, a sketch that I found that I'm doing with my summer crop camp peeps in my closed group. If you'd like to be a part of that, just let me know. And it was, this here was an aha moment. So I love this look. I love how it went across. I have this sky grass thing going on here. And so I just thought it was cool. I will say that the laser stickers all come with 2, except for these clouds. And so since it was only 1, I decided to cut it up. And I also, you could do that with any of these at any point. But so this grass and the fence are 2 laser stickers. I mean, not laser, but border stickers. And then this is a border sticker that I cut up. Just to show you, I again cut this journal box and then used my perforating blade. Just gives it a little dimension on the page, gives you something cute, you know, to go. I put the flowers behind the fence, put these little guys on top of the fence. And so what I want to show you is how to make this and the aha moment that I got doing that. Now, if you can find a piece, because I forgot to double check, I'm not sure this one did it because it doesn't always work that way, but it did. This did work that way. So that's great. If you can find a piece that you like the front and the back, and that one did work out. So that's perfect. And I chose this one today, then you can do that whole page with 1 sheet of paper. And I think you're going to have some left over. Pretty positive. So another fun thing is that you could do it with a decorative blade. And I think we're going to try that. Let me think if my brain can like that or not. I think we can. No. Yeah, we can. We're going to do it with a decorative blade. Colonial is not in right now, but it is coming back, and that's one that I really do like. I'm going to play with that one. And our blades exchange out this easy. You lift this up, take your blade out, and put your other blade in. And there's no exposure of the blade, so you cannot cut yourself. It engages when you're pushing down. So I will say that if your pattern on the back has a direction that you're going to want it to go, or I should say your pattern on the front has a direction that you want it to go, you do want to make sure that you cut it with that in mind. So let's talk about this. this left side is 4 inches and the right side is 2 inches. If I want my wood grain going left to right, I'm going to want to make sure that I put my 4 inches to where I'm going to cut my slant to this 2 inch. Okay. If I were to cut it this way, I'm going to have it going the wrong direction. The other is that I want the wood grain to go across the top. I'm going to leave the pretty butterflies for the bottom. So if I were to cut this and put the 4 inches here, then I would either have to flip it on my page or, because we can always change things around, right? So I would have to flip it on my page and let my 4 and then my 2 go to this direction. But so you keep those things in mind. I hope that made sense. So I want to make sure that my 4 is going to be on my left and my 2 will end up on my right. If I were to mess that up and put my 4 here and my 2 here, I would just let the diagonal go the other way, right? So no problem there. But we're going to make sure we cut it correctly. So what that means is if I want my left to be 4 inches, I'm going to take my point down here and put it on 4 inches. And this one's going to go over to 2 inches. Now you're going to see that it doesn't want to turn. You're going to pump it up, pull it up, pop it up over the little hump here, down here. And I'm going to slide it over to 2 inches. Now it's way off. So we're going to, as we're sliding, we can slide this back up on the trimmer to where it's right here at the top at 2. And we're going to make sure this bottom is hitting right at 4. Can you see both of those numbers, right? And if we do it just right, it'll let us go through, and sometimes it won't. I feel like this seems really tight, so it may not go all the way through, but we'll see. So we're gonna, and remember with a decorative blade, I tend to like to go back and forth with my straight. With a decorative, you want to go one straight pull because that's going to give you your design. And I started to do that up here, but that's okay. And you see that I just have a little bit and I'm just going to tug at it. No harm, no foul. Now you see that I have that going the direction that I want it to go. This is the aha moment. The other is that this pattern needs to be able to not matter what direction it goes. We're going to make sure we remember to change our blade back. And I do put things back when I'm done. So now we need a left 2 inch with a slant going up. This is the aha moment here, which I'm so excited about. It is that if we put our point at 2 inches and go straight down, our end point is right on our cut line. So if you cut a straight line from this piece down, then you have your other side. Isn't that cool? I was so excited, and I love our little decoration. Now I can't really put a sticker or something, and I might change my mind when I'm done. Now the bottom pieces were 2 inches. So now I can take this paper that I like the other side, and I can cut it at 2 inches twice. And I still do have, I'm pretty sure that adds up to 4. That's what I thought. So I can turn and cut this in half and have 2 4-inch by 6-inch mats for my page, and I can use either side. So it's really nice. You get quite a bit out of doing this with even one sheet of paper. So I picked our classic cream. It's a newer color. And the paper that I'm using actually came out of our Growing Up collection. This is a great collection. You might have looked at the word and thought, oh, I don't need that. It's kids. But you see how this to me is spring. It really cries spring with the butterflies. My busier papers, I do like to use them in smaller doses. Some of you might like them large and, more. And so you could swap this and put the butterflies up there. And then put your wood grain at the bottom. And then I'm going to add some mats and my journal box and some stickers and embellishments. And I'm going to be good to go. So this is where I was trying to see, there's some great papers in the Growing Up collection that are pre-done for you to, well, pre-done, they're decorated to be mats, or you can use the other side. And the same thing with borders. And yeah, I'm not seeing any of these, maybe this green one. I could use a border. I'm most likely going to punch a border with a border punch to go across there, just to give a little bit of something here. And so, here's another one of those pretty papers if you wanted to cut it into different things. This is all in the Growing Up collection, Growing Up paper pack. That has a large collection. It has multiple packs in it as well, depending on what you're trying to. We're having light issues, I guess. I'm not sure why my focus keeps going in and out. So pretty cool. I will finish this later, but you get the idea. And I will lay this one back so that you see the finished product once you're all done. This one I used the avocado green as my mats. I cut a little circle, especially with it being in the sky. I know it's not yellow, but the idea that, cloud or sun. So really fun. It's a great little aha moment. I love it. It made it really easy to complete the page, and it made it a lot of fun. So I hope you'll give us a try and maybe post your page so that we can all see it. Thanks so much for watching. If you don't have an advisor that you're shopping with, I'd love for you to check out my website, creativememories.com/user/Melissa Fago. And also let me know if you have any questions or need any help. Thanks so much. Thanks again for watching.